Marc Thiessen with me this morning. Big question, Mark. Have Trump's, shall we say, unorthodox picks for his administration, has all of this unnerved the political world in D.C.?
Some of them have, absolutely. But look, this is a different administration, and he promised it was going to be different, and it is. I think some of his picks have been outstanding. Marco Rubio has been great. Waltz has been great. Elise Stefanik going to the UN, fantastic. Some of them are a little bit more controversial. Matt Gaetz is going to have trouble getting Senate confirmation. RFK Jr. is going to face some tough questioning, even from Republicans. So, as will Tulsi Gabbard. But that's why we have a confirmation process, and it's going to move forward.
But he's going to get what he wants, largely. Do you agree with that?
Largely, but I think he might not get. I think he might not get Gaetz. I don't think that Gaetz can get Senate confirmation. So I think he may have somebody fall, but I think largely he will get the nominees that he wants.
Got it. Now, getting back to this, Trump and Musk, they were together to watch the SpaceX launch in Texas. Musk has become one of Trump's most trusted advisors. Question to you, Mark, is there a conflict of interest here? Musk's companies do very well now that he is advising the president.
Yeah, well, first of all, you were playing Rocket Man at the start of this. I think Kim Jong-un is a little jealous because Trump found a new Rocket Man to be his best friend. But look, this is the greatest partnership between a president and an inventor since George Washington and Ben Franklin teamed up to have the American Revolution. I mean, Donald Trump is putting Elon Musk in charge of the Doge, whose job is to cut spending, cut regulations, restructure the government, and make it more efficient. People say that's an impossible task. I would take the guy who made a rocket that can not only take off but land and put him in charge of that and give him a chance to do it. I think it's a great partnership. He is an out-of-the-box thinker. This is a guy who's creating self-driving cars, who's trying to create he's trying to get a vertical lift-off electric jet, supersonic jet right now, and he wants to colonize Mars. This is the kind of thinking you need if you want to revolutionize the American government. So I think it's great.
Do you think the relationship will hold for any length of time? I mean, you put the world's most powerful guy alongside the world's richest guy. They're both volatile characters. How long does the relationship last?
I think it will last. I think it's good. I mean, you know, look, we have to keep in mind, no one elected Elon Musk. They elected Donald Trump. So there's going to be areas where they disagree. And when they disagree, it's going to be Trump who comes out on top. But, you know, he has a way of bringing in people who disagree with him and being magnanimous and bringing them in and listening to them and listening to their advice, not always taking it, but bringing them into a circle. And I think it's a good quality about him.
You just love politics, don't you, Mark? I can tell. I can tell. It's all good
I do.
Stuff. So do I. So do I. Marc Thiessen, come back soon. We'll see you again soon. Thanks very much, man.
Take care.